Creature Commandos.
Oh, yes.
Now, the budget of this...
the first official part of the DCU.
It wasn't The Flash?
Nah.
No.
It might have been if that was any good.
Yeah, which it wasn't. No. So the budget of this, I'm not entirely sure, but it seems as if it was nothing because animation is free and you can draw anything.
So true, isn't it?
All you got to do is draw those things that you want to do. So, yeah, as mentioned by Mason, it is the first in the DCU. It's all been written by James Gunn. He wrote this before he came on board as the creative head of DC Studios.
Oh, just on a lark, did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, because he, of course, directed The Suicide Squad and then... This is adjacent to that. It's got a bunch of the voice cast that carry over.
It's got a bunch of the voice casts. Some of the continuity is the same, even though...
Some Rick Flag stuff.
Some Rick Flag stuff, you know.
Yeah. What do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate. All right. Okay, so after the events of Peacemaker Season 1, where Amanda Waller's daughter outs Amanda Waller as the head of Suicide Squad, and she's not allowed to... make the Suicide Squad. Not allowed to do any more Suicide Squad, I guess.
God, unbelievable.
She's found a loophole, which is that apparently they can't stop her from making up a team of people who are not human.
Yep.
So she's got all the...
Technically not
human.
human.
Got a bunch of freaks in lockup, and she's like...
Who we got?
We got the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yep.
We have G.I. Robot.
Yep.
That's Indira Varma as the bride.
Yes.
Who, I believe, was also in the TV series Human Target.
Oh, okay.
Second season of Human Target, among other things. But anyway, and Sean Gunn is G.I. Robot and Weasel.
Yes, that's
Although
right.
Weasel doesn't really talk.
And Weasel's just like...
So G.I. Robot was built around World War II to kill Nazis, and that's what he loves to do.
That's right.
And Weasel, of course, and he's mentioned as one of the last survivors of the Suicide Squad on Corto Maltese, which is
And they're like, oh, there must be something to him. But there's not. He drowned and then he undrowned.
He did undrown,
He didn't do much.
That's true.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk is Dr. Phosphorus.
Yep. Always a good inclusion.
Yes, permanently radioactive skeleton man.
Yes.
I would have thought he'd still count as human, but whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
David Harbour is Frankenstein.
Yes, Mr. Frankenstein. Well, Eric Frankenstein.
Yep. Viola Davis returns as Amanda Waller.
And Zoe Chow is Nina Mazursky, who's a fish woman.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, and Maria Bakalova.
Who's from the
Borat sequel. And she's Cosmo the Space Dog.
Cosmo the Space Dog, yes.
Did you mention Frank Grillo?
No.
Oh, he's Rick Flag Sr.
Yeah.
Who's the father of Rick Flag Jr., who passed away in the Suicide Squad.
He did pass away in his sleep.
And with a piece of tile going through his heart.
Yeah.
And he also, they reveal why he's the age that he is. So he had Rick Flag when he was 18, which explains why they are basically the same age.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, good cast overall.
I agreed. How are the performances, though?
Good.
Oh, Viola Davis is back as...
I mentioned that,
Did
Mason.
you?
I might have. I thought about it, yeah.
And so Steve Agee.
Yes.
He's not in the first two
No,
episodes,
but he
though.
will be. I didn't, honestly, the first episode, I didn't love it. I thought, and there's at the start, they did there's a group of incels or whatever, and I'm like, I feel like we saw this in Harley Quinn and some other stuff, and I was like, it kind of feels a bit like Invincible and Harley Quinn. And...
One of the criticisms of this, I think, is people have said, it's James Gunn doing the thing he does again, which is Misfit Team.
Well, that also, I was like, this is the crew, and it's like, it's this guy and this woman and this. I'm like, yeah, no, I fucking seen, because I'm watching that interview we talked about, it was, he doesn't want to see the origin of Batman and Superman again, and they probably won't show them in his universe, because it's like, I've seen that a million times. It's like, I agree with you, but I feel like I've also seen, this is the team and this person and this person and this person. It's also, in video games now and everything else.
Speaking of James Gunn, as we're going to, he's also in the credits.
Yes, he is.
There's an animated version of him. He's also in. Was he in?
He's in Harley Quinn.
He's in Harley Quinn. Do you think he's being set up as like a Stan Lee style figure?
Maybe,
because that worked for Stan Lee.
Worked for Stan Lee
for a bunch of years,
and he's still alive.
He is. It's true in our hearts.
Using CGI and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And AI and replacement, etc.
But which I think would work for people who are fans of James Gunn and would annoy people who are not fans of James Gunn.
That's very true.
Do you think because I sort of expected him to be like Machine Gun to death in the opening sequence in the titles,
but then he'd be canonically dead.
Yeah, and people would be like, "Good."
Well, not really. People would be like that.
People would make gifs of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, though, this got stronger.
I think so, too.
I think the second episode was much
I think also in the first episode, some of the line reads are kind of weird.
Okay,
I can't think of any specific examples, but there's a couple of lines where the emphasis is on the wrong word.
Yeah.
Or like somebody mispronounces a word or something like that. And I'm like, did you not do a bunch of takes of this? I don't know what happened.
I just said, let's go. Let's keep rolling.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I just felt initially it was like, no, it's not. There's nothing here that, like, the jokes are kind of Harley Quinn-esque, sort of. I mean, that's kind of a wackier kind of
right.
world, and it's more kind of not making fun of. Well, maybe sometimes it is making fun of like various DC characters. So it does set itself apart from it, especially kind of as it goes on. But I think as it's revealed that like the main character of this is probably the bride.
Yeah, we do get
that's interesting.
Yeah, we do in the second episode. We do, unless of course we're doing, and I think we may be doing each episode. We get a backstory. Of
yeah.
So the second episode we get a backstory of the bride. So obviously in the original Frankenstein story, she doesn't get.
Yeah,
she doesn't get built, but in this,
yes,
she is fully assembled as means to have a wife for Frankenstein, but she doesn't want to do. She gets her own kind of sentience and her own mind and priorities, and she doesn't want to do that. So she goes on the run.
Yes,
and then there's a kind of a montage sequence of her being pursued by Frankenstein over a span of 200 years
over hilarious pop cultural events.
That's
and
right,
touchstones, Mason.
That's right.
Yeah.
Snap bands.
Hypercolor. Austin Powers.
That's right, yes.
All those kinds of things.
The 3 eras.
Yeah. Also, it's a very horny show.
It is horny, isn't it? If this is the...
I don't think this is indicative of everything. I think Superman is going to be very earnest.
Yeah.
I know. I think he's even mentioned that. I think this is just a bunch of horny people running around.
Yeah.
Having the horniest time.
They are, aren't
and there's some crook horny stuff in this as well.
That's right.
Involving monsters, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll tell you what, the animation's very good.
It is very good, yeah.
I would say it is superior to, say, Invincible.
Definitely.
Except for the promo thing, the Invincible stuff, that is better inexplicably because they've had more time to work on it.
Yeah,
I guess.
It seems that way, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, the strength of Invincible is not the animation. Like, I enjoy it despite all of that. But this is definitely animated.
There's a fight sequence between Flag and Dr. Phosphorus, which I think looks particularly
That's an incredible fight sequence, yeah.
Because Dr. Phosphorus he's got the continuous fire effect on him.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the Kirby crackle effect. And that's constantly going. And it's the animation during the fight's very fluid. It's very, it's good.
Did you think it was funny?
Some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, again, it gets funnier. I think it kind of settles in and the characters kind of, when you learn more about them, I think Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus has some really,
He's
some
also,
good jokes
if we can, I guess this isn't a spoiler because at the end of this first episode or second episode, they do looking ahead this season of Creature Commandos. Alan Tudyk is also going to voice Clayface again.
That's
like he did in Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So, but it's a different version.
Yeah, it's not the
It's not the kind of the theatrical version.
Yes, I like that a lot. Apparently, also to look ahead, James Gunn said episode 4 and 7 are his favorites. I don't know what 7 is, but episode 4 deals with Weasel's origin.
Okay,
because his story in the Suicide Squad is that he killed 27 children or something like that.
We're going to reveal it was somebody else.
Probably somebody else. Yeah. But I think that should be interesting
because in the context of this show, we've never seen him kill anybody.
No,
so the
doesn't really do anything.
No, yeah. So I think the reveal is probably going to be that he's a pretty harmless, like doofus kind of character. So
but maybe he'll have his moment.
I think he'll probably kill a bunch of people. We also see, there's also a very good action sequence between the Bride of Frankenstein and Cersei. I was going to say,
I really like that. So Cersei's a Themysciran. Is that right? No, Amazonian.
Mm-hmm.
What's them? Am I getting that wrong? What am I doing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if like in the comic books, I don't think she's Amazonian, but in this, she definitely is,
or says that she is.
Right.
Yeah.
She is Amazonian in the TV series.
Okay, there you go. But
she's a sorceress.
Yeah, and she fights the bride. And what I really liked about that is they have a completely different power set. It's basically a science-based monster who's super strong versus a witch.
Yes.
And I think that's more interesting than just two people blasting each other with electricity or whatever.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
Because they're both, using their own skills and craft, which they've used over the centuries because they're both very old.
Which isn't to say either of them isn't, going to kick the other one in the crotch, which they do.
No, absolutely. And there's that element as well. But no, I really enjoyed that. And I think it's interesting what this also says about kind of the larger DC universe. In that look ahead, you also see Superman at one point. Just very briefly, he's like strung up. It's like a potential future, I guess, of this universe. But if there's a Themyscira or there's Amazonians, no one's like, oh, like Wonder Woman. Like there's no mention of that.
Right. Okay.
I think Superman is going to be in it, like maybe as an actual character. I think. But like there's no mention of Batman, so it's kind of it gives some clues about what's kind of going on, but not entirely.
Yes.
Yeah. And also apparently James Gunn has said the Justice League doesn't exist yet, so we'll get that down the line.
Yes,
in a Justice League movie, I assume.
Yeah. But yeah, no, again, like we said, there are some nods to at least the Suicide Squad, the Starfish incident from that movie, which suggests maybe that Bloodsport shot the David Corenswet version of Superman.
Maybe he did. Yeah.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't have shot the bloody Henry Cavill version because he's too cool.
He's too cool.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce right off him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep watching this.
Me too.
I mean, obviously, but I also enjoyed it.
Me
so
too.
that's also why I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, I think it probably is going to grow on us.
Yeah.
I didn't think all the jokes landed. I didn't think all the
It's too sexy for you, was it?
It's pretty sexy. And I didn't think all the line reads were necessarily great.
Yeah.
But again, it's grown on me.
Yeah. Also, I like Frank Grillo.
He's good.
How are they going to come to terms with the fact that in Superman he's got black hair and this he's got grey hair? How are they going to come to terms with that?
I don't know.
God, what do we do?
Is he? So he has a main role in?
He has, yeah.
Okay, right.
He's an Argus guy or something. I can't remember. Something like that. No, or who works for Mr. Cubes.
Right.
The guy who flies around the cubes. Mr. Terrific.
Oh, right.
Something. Okay. I can't remember.
Okay, sure.
Maybe it's Argus.
Right. Okay.
No, it would be Argus.
They'll add a line in ADR where he's like, "Yeah, I dyed my hair black. The most embarrassing thing a man can do. But I did it, and I have to live with it until the grey grows out again."
Is it Argus he works for?
I don't know, man.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
All right, Mason.
All right.
Let's move it along then.
Let's move it
it's
along.
time to go.